Hey guys, Game Sandwich here. Here I'm doing a video on my updated Gouki deck profile, and hopefully you guys like it. And this is for the new format. You can use this running into the adjacent format, which is coming obviously in April. So I thought I'd just give you a little taste of what I'm running. So we've got, for the main Papi Engine, we have 3 Super X. Your extra special summon from the deck. Stats pretty good for a good solid 1800 attack. Sadly the 0 defense kind of sucks because bird or Gokis only have 0 defense, so it doesn't really matter, but hey. Does what it says on the tin, and it's a good solid normal summon for the deck. Next we're having 3 Twist Cobra. Twist Cobra is great because it allows you to use because its ability is literally an ignition effect, and you can literally chain it onto most things. It works really well. As well, like with this, you can also chain its effect off on skill drain, but you have to actually tribute Twist Cobra itself. So it really has like a good lot of utility for the deck, obviously because it is a damage manipulator. Dang you! Stay still. So next is probably the most controversial. I run 2 copies of Scorpio. I just like it because it's a very good solid 2300, so it's a very good like normal summon, obviously you control no monsters. It isn't the say the optimal Isolde build. I just prefer this because my build really focuses on using the Gokis themselves, so I'd say it's slightly more pure, but it does have a few more techs. So we'll go with that. Next we have 2 Headbat. I believe 2 Headbat's fine. When some more Gouki support comes out in the next set, this deck will change quite nicely. So we do run 2 copies of Headbat, and it's your special summon from the deck. So pretty much with it, so special summon from the hand, I do apologise. So basically when you can discard 1 Gouki, you can target this card from the hand, so it's a hand effect. Targeting 1 monster, it gains 800 attack until the end of turn. Absolutely amazing card, really good. Then get special summon, allows you to go into more plays from that, so that's fine. Next we have 1 copy of Bearhook. I think 1 copy is fine. Can sometimes be a little bit of a brick, but I am maybe considering taking him out, but the on summon shrink effect does come in handy. Next we have 2 copies of Octostretch. Octostretch is your Isolde target. Its damage manipulation effect is really nice going into time, so pretty much if someone wants to like attack, you can discard this and stop you from getting to get a special by something like Boral Sword. Next, which is different, we run 1 copy of Ring Trainer. So Ring Trainer is a bit more of a controversial tech pick, so it's 0/0, so it's not entirely great, but the idea is if you control no monsters, you can reveal this card and then target 1 link monster in your graveyard. So the idea is really good for follow-up play. So you reveal this, special this, target 1 link, you reveal, special that. So it is really nice. Obviously you can still like use it if you have a Super X, just special summon it, but it's just really good, nice follow-up. So if I've done plays where literally I've got say I've got Nibird, this allows me to follow up really nicely and not feel like I'm in a tricky spot for the rest of the turn. So that is it for like your main Gouki lineup. So that's your main Gouki lineup. So next we run a very mini danger package. So we run 1 Thunderbird and 2 Mothman. Now everyone will say, well, why you're not running the level 3 dangers? There is a little bit of controversy with that. So with this, so Mothman allows you to drop and draw. I know it's the same thing as, say, Dogwood dealings that allows you to do the same, but it allows me, if I have too many Gokis in hand and I can't make a follow-up play, I can discard a Gouki, and it allows me to then, if I normal summon 1 more, I can literally then go into another. So say I can go to like Nightmare Phoenix and then get my copy of Rematch, and that will allow me to literally make extension play. So it works really well. Thunderbird I just like because it's a 2800 attacks, it's reasonable stats. 2400 defense isn't too bad. It just pops back row, so I do like the idea of that. That's just again, it's just a personal preference and nothing more with that one. So that is fine. And next for your hand traps, we run 1 Effect Veiler, and then we run 3 copies of Ghost Ogre. I like Ghost Ogre just because it deals with, say, it deals with spells and traps, and it deals with monster effects. I just don't like that for general utility. Veiler, I just find like Veiler comes in handy. It was just literally a choice between Veiler or DD Crow. I just thought, honest personal preference, I just prefer Veiler. So just my matches, Veiler's just come more in handy. So there you go. That is the entirety of that. So let's go through the spells. So we'll go for your one-offs first, and I'll just literally just do those all in a go. So for your one-offs, we have 1 Monster Reborn. Nothing to say, it's just Monster Reborn. One copy of Hornet Drones, because you're playing a warrior based deck and Isolde is there. Hornet Drones is just a really good card. Rotor, you're playing a deck full of warriors, makes sense. Emergency Teleport, because you're playing 3 copies of Ghost Ogre, it just allows you to do extension plays. And then 1 copy of Pot of Avarice, just because literally you will filter through the deck because all Gouki's literally search. So it's really good for that. So the follow-ups are really nice. So next we're going to go to like your main stuff. So you literally run 3 copies of Rematch. Most people run 2. I personally like 3 for the grind game. I personally just seem to go into grind game a lot more often, so personally for me 3 Rematch is fine. 1 face turn. I like another alternate search target. Face turn is a bit of a different one, so for those who haven't used it before, so face turn, you target 1 Gouki on the you control, 1 in your monster in your graveyard, you destroy the 1, and you special summon the other. So this allows you to special summon your link monsters again, and then it also allows you to get a free search. So it's really good in terms of how extensions go. For Isolde targets, we run the 1 copy of Living Fossil. It's just fine, it's just Living Fossil. 1 copy of Mind Control. I just feel like 1 copy is fine for how the deck works. And for the last spell of the deck, we have 1 copy of Twin Twister. Again, if you have a Gouki on the field, you discard. You can do so. Say if you have an Octostretch and you say have a Scorpio in hand, play the Twin Twisters, discard the Scorpio, link someone into something with the Octostretch, and then you get your copy of Rematch. Allows you to go off and do more plays from there. So there we go. So for the traps, we run 2 copies of the Phantom Knight Shade Brigadier. Again, it is a level 4. This is a warrior. Allows you to go into Isolde and allows for multiple other plays. It is just generally really good, the utility card. I mean, sometimes because you can obviously summon it where the turn is set. So if you do that, I mean, it is really fun to just do that and then just stop yourself from being OTK'd. So it does help in other ways. Next one, 1 Solemn Judgment. 1 Solemn Warning. 1 Solemn, 1 Judgment, 1 Warning. I don't really like 2 Judgment. I just find that 1-on-1 works better for me as a personal preference. It's nothing saying that you couldn't run 2 Judgment, but I just feel that's kind of fair for me. And next we have 3 copies of Evenly Matched. I just find for my personal preference, Evenly Matched works really well. Clearing those boards, doing the overextension, it just literally allows me to literally play through a lot more. So I mean, if you really wanted, you could replace these with impermanence, and I wouldn't say no. It's just personal preference. Again, I find Evenly Matched better for me. Okay, so let's go to the extra deck first. So I'll start with the non-Goukis, and then I'll work onto the Gouki side. So for the Link Monster, we'll run 1 Link Rebo. 1 Isolde. It's a Gouki deck of warrior decks, so it's fine. 1 Nightmare Phoenix just deals with back row. 1 Triple Burst just allows you to deal with graveyard effects, and the nice piercing damage really comes in handy. Actually, there's another little thing that you obviously, if you read on this, so here you go. Let's zoom in closely. So during your main phase, except the turn this card with special summon, you contribute this card and target 1 link 2 or lower in your graveyard. Special summon it, and if you do, you can special summon 1 lower dragon monster from your hand. So you don't have the and then you can. So the can part. So pretty much you can special this. So I've used this at certain points where I've literally attributed this off, and then I've summoned an Isolde when my Isolde got veiled, and then did my combo off from there. So a really decent thing. Just another little one there. Deco Talker. I do generally still like this card. It's just generally utility, and it's just a good generic link for you to go to. 1 Soyuja, I'm kind of like iffy on Soyuja now. I was happy with it at first, but I just seem to be going to it less and less as time goes on. But the good thing that it does help is that it is an Earth. So if you are like locked into Earths as a summon, Soyuja is a good alternative. And then 1 Borrelsword Dragon, it just OTKs Borrelsword. And then you have 1 copy of Crusadia Overmax, again a really good card. Just allows you, your main board should usually probably consist of Overmax and maybe 2 Goukis in defense for your first turn. So again, it's a problem card to deal with, and then it does shuffle a card from their field to this, so it really does help. So for your Goukis, we run 1 copy of Heal Ogre. So Heal Ogre is really nice. It says when a monster that this card points to activates effect, you can negate the effect, and if you do, destroy it and then special summon Gouki. So you can say, like I've done this, where you can literally go, okay, something points to this, and they say you point to this, and it summons, say something like they activate their effect. You just play this in a gate. It's really good, funny. So 1 Jet Ogre. So when it goes to the grave, you can choose a Gouki monster and you can increase its attack by 500. The good thing about this is, so you pretty much can go, you basically choose your chain link order, so you go Gouki search, then you choose Jet Ogre, so you basically chain block, so you're allowed to search twice. So it's really, really good. So next one, we use Blade Ogre. Now, not many people use Blade Ogre, but it's generally a really, really good solid card. So Blade Ogre, so it's 2+ Gouki monsters, gains 300 attack for each monster it points to. Once per turn, you contribute one card on either field that this card points to. So if you summon this, your card it points to, you contribute that monster, and you can attack twice. If you summon it there, they have a monster there, you can attack twice. It's really, really stupid. It just basically allows you to clear problem cards. I've done it where literally I've just been sitting on something that I just literally don't know how to get rid of, or it has some immunity clause, and then pretty much because you tribute for cost, you just get rid of it. It's really, really good. Then we go for U1 Gouki Master Ogre. So 2+ Gouki monsters, quick effect, you can return Gouki monsters this card points to, not your opponents, to the hand, and then negate cards on the field up to the amount card. So up to 3, so it's really fun. So I've done it before where I've attacked with this, someone's declared evenly matched, bounce to Gouki, negated it, and attack them for game, so it's really good. The other good thing is that it can attack all monsters your opponent controls, which is really, really dumb. So combining this with, say, Jet Ogre becomes literally 33 that can attack every monster your opponent controls. So bang, 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 gone. In conjunction, when it comes out, we have the new Gouki finishing move that allows Master Ogre or any Gouki monster to have piercing, which just is absolutely stupid. So an amazing card. And last of all is Gouki the Giant Ogre. So it's 3+ Gouki monsters, so cannot be destroyed by battle, and is unaffected by the activated effects of your opponent's monsters with equal to or less attack than its own. So basically, you can't Ghost Ogre this. You can't affect below this at the point of its original summon. It is absolutely bonkers. So when this card's attack is different than its own, you can have this card gain 1,000 attack. Absolutely ridiculous. You cannot this during your main phase or during damage calculation. Absolutely dumb, but amazing card. So yeah, this also counts when anything is pointed to it as well. So anything which would say target this or target a card that this card points to, you can have this card pay 500 attack, negate the activation. Absolutely great card. Next we have 2 XYZs, only 2. I believe these 2 are the best. Reader, because you literally have your Brigandine, so you pretty much have a Reader which has a monster and a trap on it straight away, which is really, really good. And then second you have your Abyss Dweller. Again, a really, really good solid card. So that's it for the extra deck. So we've done the main. Let's go for sides now, people. So we're going to have the side dish. So we run 2 copies of literally Spooky Dogwood, because no, we run 2 copies of Spooky Dogwood just because I end up going into time sometimes in matches. So Spooky Dogwood just allows me to unfortunately be that cheeky sod in time. 1 Ash, I never seem to draw it, so, or if not, I always draw it too often, so I always just have the 1. So and then next we have 2 Bell. So literally we run most of the sisters, so I think the only one we don't really run is just Cherries of the main. But 1 Ash seems fine, and then I've got my 2 Bell, so I'm happy with that in my lineup for the moment. 1 Pancratops, it's limited to 1, so 1's fine. Next, 2 Caught by the Grave. I find 2 is fine, and yeah, it's Caught by the Grave. Really, really good solid. Twin Twisters, just for extra back row removal, it seems fine. 1 Overdone Burial. Sometimes I just feel like in a tournament that I am literally hard drawing my equip more often than I should be. So I sometimes occasionally just, if I feel like that's happening too often, I just put aside in my second one. And for the Retake picks, we have 1 Legacy of the Duelist. So, Legacy of the Duelist, if you haven't seen this before, is a really, really odd card that basically has some really fun interactions. So, it basically it means that it kind of heightens back Yu-Gi-Oh to the more kind of basic principles. So, when your monster declares an attack, you can target 1 spell or trap your opponent controls, negate the attack, and if you do, you can destroy that card. This is not hard once per turn. So if you have 5 or 6 monsters, you can negate 6 times and keep destroying back row. Absolutely stupid. Which is really, really fun. So if you've got, like, say, a back row deck that they're playing, you can just keep forcing them to pop stuff. So really fun there. So this one is really a little bit of an extra. So monsters that were special from the extra deck, during the turn they are summoned, they cannot attack, which is basically reminiscent of the like, say, the Duelist City arc from the original Yu-Gi-Oh anime. So pretty much anything that's summoned from the extra deck can't attack the turn it is summoned. It is really hard to play around this sometimes if people don't know what it does. So you can do that, go off, do your stuff, go off, get your monster out, attack with theirs, then like slap this bad boy down, and then it's like, oh, okay. And then they're like, okay, carry on return, go on. Don't really bother to read this too much. And then they'll go, okay, attacking. Like, okay, can't. So yeah, that's a fun one. Plus also it has a lovely extra clause in it. So during your draw phase, before your draw phase, you can give it your normal draw phase if you do to add one monster from your graveyard to your hand. So if your opponent is playing some really janky, say like Empty Jar, which does happen these days, not too often, but does happen, you can actually play this and just like literally just go, okay, I can just skip my draw phase forever and just keep adding stuff back from my grave. So yeah, so unless they manage to banish your entire graveyard and your deck, yeah, then you're still gonna win. And then we have the last of the cards. So we've got one copy of Dimensional Barrier, and with like the Shaddoll deck kind of coming back and lurking a bit more around, I just thought taking one nice D barrier just would be a bit of a nice tag pick, given the fact that pretty much also that like obviously you have the new rules for synchros with them coming out. So I'd rather just kind of go, okay, do something, hit Shaddolls, yeah, just hit Dimensional Barrier and just kind of cry a little bit. And then the last thing is just for like, you know, Triff Gaming, we have the 2 anti-spell because we, you know, love Pendulum. So yeah. So yeah, 2 anti-spell slows the game down, allows you to do stuff. So it's a bit more of a fun one. There are some really weird clauses that you can get around this with, which I can mention now. So if you're, so say you have anti-spell on the field, and if your opponent is playing something like Paleo, if they have the rank 2 Paleo that says they can activate them from the hand, anything that normally says you can activate it from the hand doesn't usually require a set because it's an effect that bypasses this. Just like things to be aware of. So like Paleo can bypass this, so just literally, you know, to be aware of that. So literally I will go through a quick little combo with your Gouki monsters just to, like, you know, give you a little bit of like a bit of a fun time for you to get yourself sorted. So this is, you know, roughly what I do in terms of like doing stuff for game. So you have some fun little things that you can do for the deck. So hopefully you guys like it and show you what I can roughly do in terms of like summons. So you'll have some fun stuff you can do. So it should be a bit of a good, nice one. So we'll have a little bit of fun. So here we go.